Hello everyone and welcome to another Minecraft redstone video. This video I'll be showing you a contraption that will allow you to mine and collect ancient debris a lot faster. So ancient debris is pretty rare, um, and they spawn at lower Y levels more frequently. And one of the simpler ways to do this is to simply just branch mine. But as you can see, you will miss a lot if you just keep up mining in straight lines because these aren't that common and spawn at a variety of Y levels. And you may know about Navy Nexus's simple uh, tunnel board that uses a bed. That could be a pretty good option if you're in single player. But for things like servers, and if you happen to need to collect a lot of ancient debris, a TNT based tunnel board might be the best option. So I've come up with my own new concept that makes mining ancient debris a lot easier and faster. So here we have dispensers that have TNT loaded in here, and these are facing upwards, not this way. The TNT will be dispensed into here, but will move up above that observer. And these modules are just completely independent, so you only need this and just need to push the slime block. So this actually really isn't technically part of the contraption. This is just how to connect all of these. So you can do this in many different ways, but I did it in this way because it's the simplest. And this is the engine. Every time you activate this observer, it will move forward by one block. So this is also a decently simple engine. So I'll activate this once. So what happened is this dispenser gets activated 3 times very quickly, and 3 TNT will be sitting right here. The slime block pushes it down. It'll land somewhere on this bedrock. It doesn't really matter if it moves forward or isn't perfect every single time. It will still move forward fine. And then, because there's 3 TNT, the first initial explosion launches the other two up to about this height, and then the second one will explode, launching the last one all the way up here. And basically, you can create a way bigger blast radius without having a lot of different TNT contraptions. So I could do this again. So you can see they'll all get launched up. And the reason why I launched 3 TNT is because it is a very easy way to um, activate a dispenser 3 times. Just have an observer here and then pulse this piston and it will extend and retract, and that'll be 3 times. I also do have a version that does 5 TNT, but the problem with that is it creates such a big hole that it clears up from bedrock all the way to the lava lakes. So lava will start pouring in, and which means you'll have to clear entire lava lakes before this is can move forward again. And these will just keep on pushing forward, and you can make this as long as you want, as long as it clears, as long as it's in your simulation distance, and you can just mine through and collect these. I just left these so you can see how much ancient debris is. So things like these, without using this type of tunnel bore, may have never been uncovered. And this section right here is um, solid blackstone that I used commands to fill in, and this is to make sure that it can't leave any blackstone patches behind. And as you can see, it made through this just fine. And in fact, if you build only one of these, it can actually go through endstone just fine. So here's a simple one. Another thing is, if you don't want to build this at this Y level next to the bedrock, you can put a piston in front of the dispenser and 5 either netherite or ancient debris. It doesn't really matter which one you use, as long as it's one of the two. And this basically can hold the TNT here, and the debris won't blow up, and it will that means you can build it at different Y levels. So I've done a lot of testing through these, and so far they have been pretty reliable. And I also have a bigger version, which I will show you now. So this contraption is over here. So now I'm by the bigger version, and you may notice that these are connected in a different way. And the reason is because these ones are built above the lava lakes. Ignore this. This is just a command block setup I have to easily remove lava that is flowing down. Um, because these are the nether blocks, if I do not activate these all at once, the TNT will get pushed off of these nether blocks and they'll shoot off to the side, and you don't want that. So this is a slightly different setup. And this one is not nearly as useful. As you can see, there's barely any ancient debris at this level. You can see one here, and there's also one here and there. And that is pretty much it. The land only did go up to here, but definitely not as much as the other levels. But I'm going to activate this once. So you can see 5 TNT is dispensed, so that's a lot more. And it also clears out a lot more space, so it'll go all the way up here just fine. So it'll pretty much go through all of this without any problem. And you will get some blocks back. It's not everything, because it's not 100% TNT drop rate. But I can clear out some of this lava and move this forward again. And sometimes you'll hit things above, but that won't affect it at all because of the blast resistance of Netherite is very low, and even with Blackstone it is just fine. And as long as you don't see any lava, you can just keep on moving this forward. Even if you see ancient debris, um, as long as it doesn't get stuck around here, it will be fine. You can just keep on going forward. Just make sure you clear out the lava so it doesn't get in front of the TNT. And this is a pretty effective way to clear out a large area that you want to open for, let's say, a nether hub. As you can see, that one hit the ancient debris, but it is fine because when it moves over by another block, it won't hit it again. Well, not in that case because there's 2 of them right next to each other. And just make sure you're constantly refilling the TNT. And another thing I would like to note is these will dispense a bit less TNT when there is a chunk border across here. The reason is because instead of sending a double pulse here, only send 1 pulse. This won't affect the machine at all, pretty much. It just means that for that one time it will be less TNT, but the machine won't get stuck or anything, and it'll clear the blocks just fine. Now I'm going to do a tutorial for the simpler version. This version is pretty much the same. The only difference is, actually I'll show you over there by the other one, the difference between the two. So now I'll do a tutorial on this machine. So first is you're going to want to put your dispenser facing upwards. And you want to have 1 block of space here, because that's about the perfect height. Then on top of there is a dispenser. Make sure you put the slime block above the observer. Then you're going to want a slime block here, a downwards facing piston, a observer here. Make sure you fill in the TNT last so you don't blow this up. Then a piston there, a slime block here, and a block. Now with the setup like this, you're going to have to push it from here, this slime block. But if you happen to not be able to push it there, you could also switch these around and push the contraption from here. But I prefer it right here. Then what you're going to want to do is put a sticky piston over here. then 2 slime blocks, a observer facing into uh, that way, a sticky piston, and a observer right here. So this just adds delay until this piston pushes the TNT forward. So then you can just put another piston here. Grab a redstone block and also some TNT, and we can see if this thing works. As you can see, it does a good job clearing this out. And if you don't want to create a engine right here and you just want to do this simply, you could also put a sticky block here or pretty much anywhere, and put a redstone block there. And basically, if you just have 2 pistons, you can just put a piston here. Oops. Looks like I did something wrong. Sorry about that mistake. I have rebuilt the machine, and it works again fine. I did not mean to put a slime block here. What we can do is put a redstone block here. And basically, if you have 2 pistons in survival, you can just come around here and put a piston there and break the one there after that. And just keep on alternating between these two, and it will just work just fine. So this could be another way of powering this. A few other things to note is the best distance to put these apart is 6 blocks in between. So over here we could see we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks in between the pistons. And this is so that it can go through patches of blackstone that happen to be in the middle of them, and they won't get left behind. And if they're any closer, they will affect each other and shoot each other off to the side. But that's pretty much it. This engine, I could show you a bit closer. Make sure this is honey or else it'll stick to here. And this could be any type of fence gate or a trapdoor, or you could just use flint and steel instead of having these 2 blocks. So now I'll show you how to make the 5 TNT version, or the bigger one. So it doesn't require that much modification. So first you're going to want to move this like here, put a sticky piston here, a observer facing into it, and also I've removed the TNT so it doesn't blow up. You're going to want to put another slime block here, put that right there, then grab some more slime blocks and put a observer facing that direction. If we activate this, it should dispense the TNT 5 times instead. We can try it with TNT now. And there we go. Make sure you clear out the lava. Sometimes gravel can fall. Just in case, monitor your machine for gravel, because there is a chance that falling gravel can be blown up and fall as an entity, like somewhere inside the pistons, and it can mess things up. But most of the time it'll be just fine. But as you can see, the TNT can push gravel down like this, and if this happens, which is pretty rare, as you can see there's a lot of gravel there, you could remove it by hand, and it should be just fine. And the only problem with this is because it clears such a large area, the lava lakes will be at this height. So you're going to want to build it above the lava lakes, but to do that you need somewhere where the TNT can land on. So you can either use, as I said before, netherite blocks or ancient debris. The reason why is because these cannot be blown up by TNT but can move. You need 5 of these, and they all have to be this block. Anything else here, even endstone, will blow up. and this will land right at the edge and do pretty much the same thing. Just clear some of this lava out. So most of the time you'll probably be clearing out lava. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next redstone video.